What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is going to be your marriage boot camp, season 16, episode 9. So we are all caught up, okay? This Friday's episode, I will be caught up. So this is the episode that we all been waiting for. Well, I ain't gonna say we all been waiting for, but y'all know y'all love the lie detector test episode. One day I'm gonna figure out how to not have that glare. But anyway, y'all know y'all like the lie detector test episode. So this is the episode with the lie detector test. So, we start off in the morning. We kind of checking in with all the couples. Everybody's nervous. Everybody's kind of on edge. Ballistic and Jocelyn got a little extra going on. They are arguing because Ballistic is in his feelings about the whole statement that was made about Stu. I mean, that Michelet made at the beginning about Stu, and he said that Stu been looking at Jocelyn kind of funny, and that he want to know what's up because he think that Jocelyn and Stu got something going on. Now, let me say a couple of things about this. First of all, what the hell make you think Jocelyn got something going on with Stu? Stu? And that's no disrespect to Stu, but second of all, why are you approaching Jocelyn? If you feel like Stu is out of pocket and being disrespectful, then that's who you need to approach is Stu, not Jocelyn. Like, do you really think Jocelyn is right up under your nose? If you think that Jocelyn is that disrespectful, that she is right up under your nose, flirting with another dude, then you don't need to wait till the last day to see if you're gonna give her a ring or not. You don't need to be with her. Like, seriously. Like, are you what? Um, Excuse me, y'all. I'm sorry. I waited late to do this review, so it's kind of late. Um, so Jocelyn comes downstairs. Ballistic comes downstairs, and they all having their little meeting in the morning about getting ready for the lie detector test. And Jocelyn was like, "Well, I wanna address the elephant in the room." I don't think she understands what that means because it's only an elephant in a room if all parties involved know that there's an issue. Did nobody know there was a problem except for you and Ballistic? So it's really not an elephant in a room. It's really more of me and Ballistic got an issue that I want to bring to the rest of the group. So then she proceeds to make everybody feel uncomfortable because now you bring into the group the fact that Ballistic thinks there's something going on between you and Stu and Michelet are sitting there like, what? Then Stu throws it back at Michelet and was like, see, you did this when you made the comment about me wanting Jocelyn. This is your fault. So now Michelet is sitting there like, what? Then Ballistic gets up and leaves because he's saying, you embarrassing me. You ain't have to do that. You didn't have to bring it to the group like that. Stu gets up because he's pissed off because he's like, I don't want Ballistic to think that I'm trying to mess with Jocelyn. AKA, I don't want Ballistic to beat my ass. And he's mad at Michelet because he feel like Michelet instigated the whole situation by the statement she made. First of all, they've been there for 8 days. Stu, you really been walking around for 8 days feeling that way? Because Michelet said that like the first or second day. Might have been the second day. No, it was the first day, I think. I think it was the first day when they were doing like the jury of your peers. I really think it was the very first day. So you've been holding on to this for 8 days? Listen, I'm going to say this to y'all. Jocelyn, and this is all jokes aside, this is no bullshit. Jocelyn, you need to get the hell away from him. Because in this situation, I believe Jocelyn 100%. I mean, we didn't get a chance to hear him exactly say what Jocelyn said he said, but we heard enough of the conversation to know that there was an issue there and that Ballistic was the one that had the issue. And I believe Jocelyn. Like, I absolutely believe Jocelyn in this situation. I really do. Because Ballistic never said he ain't say it. Ballistic said she ain't have to bring it to the group like that. She could have pulled me aside. Whatever. So Ballistic left. Dr. Ish went after him, and Judge told her continue to go on with the conversation or whatever. And excuse me. So she got down to, y'all know how they get down to the questions, okay? So, and I apologize to Shawnee. I really like Shawnee, but I forgot to tell Shawnee's story in last week's episode. Shawnee's childhood trauma went back to her mother and her relationship with her mother. Her mother had a mental illness. And it was, I want to say, was it her? She had a sister that died, and her mother was like, it should have been you or something to that effect. Anyway, but hers went back to mental illness and the relationship with her mother, I believe it was. I guess I should have rewatched the episode to remember. But it was something dealing with her mother and the trauma with her mother. She said her mother are close down, but it was something like like she had a sibling die or something, and her mother was like, it should have been you or something real deep like that. I don't know if me and my mama could come back from that. I'm just saying, like, I ain't gonna disrespect my mama, but I don't know if me and my mama could come back from that. But okay. So let me go couple by couple so I don't forget anybody this time, because I really feel bad, because I do like Shawnee, and your story was just as important as everybody else's story, Shawnee. So let's start with CeeLo and Shawnee. Now okay, I'm a little confused at it, because Shawnee's question was, do you want to marry me? But then she's wearing a ring, and when at the end, when they they get ready to go out on their little night on the town, and the married couple's got to give up their ring, she gives up her ring. My thing is, we ain't married, you ain't getting my ring. If it's just an engagement ring, whatever. So I know they're not married, but I don't know if they made like a promise. CeeLo seemed like the promise ceremony kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, CeeLo's question to Shawnee is basically, are you only here because it's you basically you put in so much time you don't want to leave. That ain't how he worded it, but pretty much that's what it was. And he even said something to the effect of cheaper to keep her. And what he meant by that, I'm glad he cleaned it up. But what he meant by that is, we put so much time in. Are we just kind of staying in it because we feel like we would have wasted our time if we walk away? Or we really, really want to be here and we really mean it? Miss Chalet and Stu. Stu's question to Miss Chalet was, do you really want to be with me? Or do you really love me? Miss Chalet's question to Stu was it love at first sight when you saw me? I think in both cases, those are dumb questions and those are wasted emotions. Wasted questions, because Miss Chalet question to him was it really love at first sight, or really did you really? Why does it matter? You said he loves me more than I love him. So does it really matter if it was love at first sight or was it love when y'all first met? Does it really matter? To me, it seems like y'all should be asking questions that'll be impactful on you making your final decision. And I just don't see where that question is impactful. Like, I could see her asking a question, do you feel that you could be with me long term, or something that would impact the future? To me, rehashing whether he fell in love with you in the beginning, that was stupid to me. And Stu's question to her was, do you want to be with me? Well, isn't that what y'all are there to figure out? If it doesn't matter, I can want to be with somebody all I want. They're there to figure out if they can make a relationship work and if they are compatible with each other. It seems to me like their questions could have been a little more specific and a little more geared towards. Again, I feel like Stu's question to Miss Chalet could be not so much, do you want to be with me, but do you think this relationship can work? Like, I don't know. Something a little bit better. I don't know. Anyway, it may be because it's a lie detector test that there are certain ways the questions have to be read. I don't know. Chosas and Bianca. Now, child. They another one that I think they just need to let it go. Chosas wanted to know, did you get pregnant by another man last year? Bianca's thing was, that's an easy answer. I wasn't with nobody last year. Now, I don't know how that possibly could have worked in the timeline we done figured out in the last couple of weeks with this show. But all right, Bianca, I'm going to let you have that one that you ain't been. All right, Bianca. I don't know how you could have been pregnant 4 times, but you wasn't with nobody last year. You was with him. And I understand the question was, were you pregnant by anybody else? I get that. But you admitted that you was messing with somebody else when y'all broke up, even though you claim it wasn't sexual. Whatever. I just think, again, I don't understand the purpose of that question, but whatever. And then her question that chose this was, do you still have feelings for another woman? Again, I understand her question, though. That I understand. Ballistic and Jocelyn, I think they asked some good questions. Jocelyn's question to Ballistic, basically, are you going to marry me? Ballistic's question to Jocelyn was, if I don't meet your May 1st deadline, are you going to leave me? I think both of those questions are valid for what they're there for and what they're there to figure out, me personally. last but not least, and I saved them last because their questions I think were really deep. Styles P and Ajua. Um, her question to him was, were you in love? Well, actually, what she said was, did you have feelings for the woman you cheated on me with? Now, I personally think the question should have been, were you in love with her? Because Styles brought up a good point. Feelings, lust is a feeling. That doesn't mean I want to be with her. That doesn't mean I'm in love with her. That doesn't mean that I had, you know what I mean? So I think the question should have been more specific, because what you want to know, you don't really want to know if he had feelings for her. You want to know if he loved her. Because there had to be some feelings involved for him. Like, I mean, I know men are different from women, or some people, I shouldn't say men, women, but anyway, men, women. I know that you don't have to have any deep, dark, seated feelings with somebody to have sex with them. I get that. But I think what you wanted to know was did he love her? Because feelings, like you said, lust is a feeling. Clearly, I had lust for her because I had sex with her. Hello. But I understood your question. I understood what you wanted to know. And then her question to him, which I thought was, his question to her, which I thought was very, very deep, was, do you blame me for our daughter's suicide? And his thing was, that is important for us to figure out if we can move past it, because if she blames me for that, I don't know how we get past that. And so that was deep, but I do think that's an important question, and I do think that's an important answer, and I hope that it didn't come back deceitful. I hope her answer was real. Well, I hope the answer was no, and I hope that it was, because they said that for the questions, that 4 people, they they ain't go over the results. They're gonna go to results Friday, or this week's episode. But 4 of the answers were deceitful, or 4 people came back with their answers being deceitful. So I think it's probably Chosen's and Bianca ass, and probably Miss Chalet and Stu. I'm not saying it's all 4 of them, but I'm just saying, child, Chosen's and Bianca's ass, they need to just go somewhere. And they so young, it's okay to not have it figured out. It's okay for her not to be the one and for him not to be the one. I think they need to figure out that it's okay. But moving on. So then from there, while they were going through this, Jocelyn went into self-destructive mode, because that's what Jocelyn does. When Jocelyn hurts, she wants to hurt everybody around her, because Jocelyn only knows how to deal with one emotion, and that is anger. She doesn't know how to deal with the rest of these emotions. She doesn't know what to do with them. And so as a result, she lashed out at Stu and told Stu that he needed to talk to Ballistic and get it cleared up, and she kind of got a little nasty, a little snippy with him. And then she really came for Miss Chalet, and she got really nasty with Miss Chalet. And what she wanted from Miss Chalet was a response. She wanted a fight. She wanted an argument. She wanted it to become a thing, because that is where Jocelyn is comfortable. Jocelyn is comfortable in anger. She's comfortable in conflict. She's not comfortable with emotion. She's not comfortable with that. And so she wanted Miss Chalet to give her the smoke, and Miss Chalet wouldn't do it. And I think for a couple of reasons. One, I just don't think Miss Chalet give a damn enough to fight when it comes to Stu. I don't think she does. And I don't think that Miss Chalet is scared to fight, and I don't think that Miss Chalet can't fight. Miss Chalet comes from South Central. Like 1970s, 1980s South Central. But I think that Miss Chalet holds so much stuff in and keeps so much bottled up that when she blows, I think it would take the whole security staff to pull her ass up off of Jocelyn. That is what I believe. I think she's almost like an Incredible Hulk, and she knows it. And so it takes a lot to get her to that point. Because I think when she blows, Jocelyn gonna get everything that she wanted to give everybody else for the last however many years. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So I really think that Miss Chalet does not allow herself to get excited and worked up over a lot, because she knows. That's my opinion. So Chosen did go up and apologize to Ballistic, and Ballistic was like, I didn't have no problem with him. I didn't have no beef with him. I mean, not Chosen, Styles. Chew. Not, y'all know who I'm talking about, the chef boy. And I'm like, but you did have a problem with him, Ballistic. You had an issue because you felt like he was looking at your girl, and you felt like he was so at the end of the day, Ballistic, what you really got an issue with is with Jocelyn, and you really don't feel no kind of way about it. I mean, you really don't trust Jocelyn. Now, I honestly don't know if Jocelyn and Ballistic needed to take a lie detector test at this point, because I know a lie detector test, it connects a lot to your emotion and what you have going on here. And I just don't know if they were ready. I just don't know if they were ready to take that test. So maybe they came up deceitful, because both of them were emotional. Both of them had, blood pressure, and they were still. I mean, because Jocelyn was still pissed off. Like the rest of the damn day, Jocelyn was mad. So anyway, um, and like I said, y'all know they ain't gonna give them the results of the test. So this was, if you watch the show, you know what it was. It's the last night. Everybody's going out to the club. Now the guys went to the club, and the guys had themselves a 1D full time. They were in VIP, and of course, you have like if you walk into the club and you see CeeLo, you see Styles P, you may not know who the hell Ballistic is, but you see him. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, Stu was there too. It's like, of course women are gonna come up there. Of course women are gonna try to take pictures. Of course they're gonna flirt. Chose is young, with the blue hair and all that good stuff. So at the end of the day, um, they all were having a good time. And I said they were smoking, they was drinking, poor Stu pulled himself away. He was talking to himself. He was drunk as hell, honey. By the end of the night, they showed him sleep on the couch in another section of the club all by himself. And I'm thinking to myself, now what club you go to got a whole section that's just empty? But anyway, Chose was back. I mean, I keep saying Chose. The chef was back there asleep, honey. Now the ladies went out. Now before they left, like I said, Jocelyn was really trying to get Miss Chalet to go there, talking about Stu wasn't shit, and he was a $2 bitch, and $2 this, and he ain't shit, and I mean, she was really, really trying to get Miss Chalet. And even when Miss Chalet didn't say nothing, she told my son, "What are you looking at? What's that look for?" Miss Chalet was like, "I'm just listening." Oh, okay. Cause that's what she wanted. And to be honest with you, had it been Bianca, they'd have been in there scrapping. Cause see, Bianca don't know what to do with it either. They'd have been back and forth. But, and again, I just don't think she cared enough about Stu to fight. Like, and I that's just. So they were at the club, and everybody, the only person that seemed like they was ready to party was Shawnee. But poor Shawnee was by herself, honey. Shawnee was trying to, and they were just, I mean, they were in the club like this. And you know how much of a party animal Jocelyn is. And Jocelyn was just not feeling it. And they ended up leaving, honey. They ended up leaving and going back. And they get back. And of course, the guys ain't back yet. Because the guys still at the club having themselves a good time. Okay? A good time. Do I think anybody did anything inappropriate at the club? The guys. I don't. I mean, there might have been a little flirty going on. There might have been a little extra conversation. But nobody kissed. Nobody touched. At least not their shoulders yet. I say, because sometimes they be throwing stuff, they be pulling shit out the bag. So, but I mean, it was a little, like, I think CeeLo was a little talky for my taste, but I don't think he was inappropriate. I mean, Shawnee might not have liked it too much, but I don't feel like he crossed any major lines, if that makes any sense. Anyway, y'all, let me know what y'all think. Drop it in the comments. Peace.